Welcome to the Kachmann Wellness Show. I think you're going to enjoy this. This is about stopping, preventing, reversing diabetes. Yes, I would say 70-80% of the people in this community have diabetes. Yes, and I explained the science to you. Even thin people can have it. That's what the amazing thing is. 20-30% of the people who are thin are diabetic. Many of them say, "Oh, I don't have diabetes." Well, I tell you, so just looking at a person, and you think the majority, 80% of people that are overweight are diabetic, but not 100%. Okay, so you are what your blood tests are. So let's discuss the correct blood test for a minute. Things that you should get. You should get a fasting blood sugar and also a fasting insulin. That's what is not being obtained today in most medical examinations. Look at the blood test they did on you. There's no serum insulin on there. The serum insulins are elevated 10 to 15 years before the blood sugar ever goes up. That's in the literature. It's in many books, not just my own. But the industry, I think, is so surrounded, and the hospital system is so surrounded. The doctors are not properly educated that they get your blood sugar, the blood sugar, and oh, you're diabetic. Let me tell you, the trouble with that is, while the serum insulin is elevated for 10 to 15 years, changes are occurring in your body already. You have vascular disease going on, you have no symptoms, and then eventually the blood sugar goes up. You say, oh, you're diabetic, but you're ready to get advanced vascular disease. And during this time, you may have grabbed your chest. 50% of the people have a heart attack from having a heart attack. Just grab their chest, fall over. 50%. 50%. So, and this information was scientifically proven by Dr. Joseph Kraft, K-R-A-F-T. Go to YouTube. He's on there. He's also written a book. Yes, he's also written a book. You can read it in one night. I've read it many times. And on YouTube, he says, he was 96 on the YouTube show, and he's died since. Says, "I've been looking down upon you for many decades before the industry finally is honest and tells you that you need to get serum insulins." Yeah, that's right in his book. He was at the University of Illinois, well written in his book there. And it was proven also when they autopsied the soldiers in the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and the Americans. They autopsied the ones that were shot to death. They found the Americans, although they were of normal weight, had advanced vascular disease, many of them. Yes, and that's because they were, there's no such thing as pre-diabetes. Don't let them tell you got pre-diabetes. No. Changes are occurring in your body because your insulin is elevated and it's making holes in your intima of your blood vessels. You get vascular disease. So let me repeat, even if you're thin, you can be diabetic, and you need to, when you go to your doctor, not just get a blood sugar, get a serum insulin. Another good one is to get triglyceride HDL ratio. That's a good one too. So why is this occurring in America where 80% of the people are diabetic and we're doing nothing about it? Because industry is making a lot of money, and then they're telling you this. The hospital system is involved in this. I've been there. I've called at every hospital and wanted them to run serum insulin tests or be the champion of diabetes prevention reversal. Not one of them is interested in joining me in doing that. But I'm not giving up. I'll keep on doing it. Why is this occurring in America? In America, in the world, it's not just, for example, all these shows on diabetes that I do. Go to YouTube in 10 days. Public access too on Monday at 6:30. Incidentally, a half hour. But then they go to YouTube, and thank you, Library, for doing that. And then the nation of India has the largest number of diabetics in the world. They have 1.5 billion people, so they have the largest number. China's too. U.S. is number 3. We don't have as many people as they do, okay? Because we have a higher percentage of people. Yes. We're surrounded with diabetes. We're the musical city, but we have very sick city. And somebody needs to step up to bat. I've been to the school board. They don't call me back. And this specifically is occurring in children, yes. I have right here what they serve for breakfast to children in the city. And if you read this, it's a food that will guaranteed to take the majority of kids and make them sugar addicts. That's what we're feeding the children. Here's a copy. You want a copy? You can just go online and say it. For example, chilled fruit juice. Mm-hmm. Fruit juice. The juice is full of sugar. Eat the fruit, not the juice. Okay. Cinnamon buns for breakfast. Just a picture of them right here. Picture of them right there. Pancakes, for example. Okay. And 100% fruit juice. You want to make a sugar addict out of somebody, produce diabetes and obesity in somebody, feed them that. Every day it's on this menu. And then milk. Read Joe Keon's book, Whitewash. 1,000 scientific references in there. And you'll find that the milk you give your kid is so full of hormones and pesticides because that's what they sprayed on the cow. They spray growth hormone onto the calf as soon as it's born to make it grow bigger, so it produces more milk. That's industry at work. Then they put the cow in a cage and they put pesticides and herbicides in it to keep them alive and more hormones. And there's 50, 60 hormones in milk, and you're going to give it to your kid. What are you thinking? They're doing in the school system, okay? So let's take them on. Some lawyer needs to step up to bat and take them on. I'm telling you that the school system is turning our children into sugar addicts. I'll say it right here. Talk to me in person, meet with me, whatever. But I'm going to expand this message. I'm not just stopping here, okay? And we're opening now a Diabetes Prevention Reversal Center at Western University, 3rd floor. There's a library. I just moved to the downtown, so 1,500 books of mine went to the library there. That'll be a Diabetes Prevention Reversal Center. I'm there at 1 o'clock on Fridays. If you want to get free coaching, come over. I'm meeting someone there tomorrow at 1. We gladly talk to more people. And so why am I so focused on diabetes? Because it causes many, many diseases. And I'll review them with you a little bit. Memory loss, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, 90% of the time it's from diabetes. I wrote a book about prevention is the cure. We want to prevent it. But if you got it 90% of the time, we can get rid of it. And I'll show you what books to look at to do that in a minute. But let's review some of the diseases that diabetes causes. Blindness, cataracts, dental disease. Yes, most dental disease is caused by infections, and because those bacteria love sugar. You want dental disease, become a diabetic. Teeth will fall out. Okay, if you look at in history, some of the queens, when people in London had 700 or so sugar shops, and the Queen Elizabeth, had all black teeth because they were all rotten from eating sugary foods. Okay, you want good teeth? Learn what good food is. Dental disease, liver transplants, vascular disease. Most cancers are sugar eaters. Otto Warburg proved that in 1930, many years ago. And if you look at some other YouTube shows, I explained that to you in detail. We don't have enough time today. But strokes, dementia, thyroid disease, heart attacks, renal failure, renal disease, heart disease, all related 90% of the time to diabetes. You want to prevent it. It's preventable 90% of the time. If we're feeding this stuff to the kids in school, are we surprised that our hospitals are full? They're expanding. If you read the Journal Gazette recently, you can see what problem. And I've been to them. They even have a diabetes department and obesity department, but they're not really getting rid of your disease. They give you statin drugs. Statins cause diabetes. Read Toxic Effect of Statins by Evans. Read the book, this thick. Read the summary. Don't read the whole book. It tells you there. And at one of the hospitals, most of the people they operate on for vascular disease, I had someone, without getting the names, just to collect 80% of the people they're operating on want a statin drug. Yeah, true. It's a true story. It's a true story. And we need to look into that. Is that, what do you say? What do you want to call it? Okay, call it what you like. So hip arthritis, knee arthritis, and now a lot of people who are overweight are taking these GLP-1 inhibitors, and I've got on YouTube, I've got 2 one-hour TV shows on that. So look at that. There's good and there's bad part, but for people who are severely overweight, 300 pounds is a good way to get rid of your diabetes. But there's good and bad parts too. You need to learn to eat right, and all that's on my YouTube show. Cancers are sugar feeders. That's been proven. Yes, a cancer needs about 13 molecules of sugar to start growing and multiply. So it's very important for you to avoid cancer, amputations, dislocations, knee arthritis, hip arthritis, all due to people with weight problems, for example, inflammatory problems. So what should you be eating? Should be eating, frankly, about 67% good fats. So you got to learn the difference between good fats and bad fats. Omega-3 are good fats, omega-6 are bad fats. And other books to read and websites I'm going to tell you about is by Jason Fung, F-U-N-G, Diabetes Code. It's excellent. You can get in the library, or you can probably go to use real cheap. And because you want to get rid of the disease, don't put up with it, don't accept it. Oh, I'll take my pills. No, you get rid of it. Then maybe you'll live to be 100, like my plan is. 88 years old, no disease, no pills. I take nothing. I want you to have a life like that, okay? And but this explains this also in great detail. That I wrote a book you can see up here, and prevention is the cure, and I wrote it years ago, and why are we having so much diabetes in town? Failure of public health. Public health is not coming out with this message on TV or locally or in the schools that public health puts up with this type of food in the schools, so it's not believable. Public health is a total failure. It should be in the schools telling the kids how to eat correctly, starting at a very young age. Sugar industry, of course, has bribed all the congressmen, House and Senate lobbyists. They give a lot of money to our politicians and our hospital systems. Oh, yes, they are, because the medical school here won't invite me to give a lecture to the medical students on how to avoid diabetes. And I noticed the school is moving onto the one of the hospital systems campus now, and they're sending their students to learn how to take a residency in their hospital. What do you think? They're going to teach them diabetes prevention? Heck no. We know they're not going to do that. So poor nutrition teaching everywhere. Processed food, of course, the industry has taken the coverings off the grains, and you're eating, you're not getting the nutrients and things to avoid diseases. Cow's milk, I already mentioned. Once you read that book, you won't drink cow's milk again. Hospital system, lack of prevention treatment. They pretend to have a diabetic department. They pretend to have an obesity department, but they're teaching the wrong thing. Yes, I'm telling you that. If they don't agree with me, sit down with me, have a cup of coffee, tell me why you disagree. You could be a guest on my TV show. Tell us your opinion why I'm wrong. I'm open to it. So medical school, lack of nutrition teaching, lack of preventative treatment, school lunch program, I showed you that, how horrible that is. We're making our children addicts, we're turning them into sugar addicts, and of course, a lot of them are getting overweight. I noticed they just approved Ozempic, some of these GLP-1 inhibitors for children to age 10, I think it is, and soon it'll be further down that. We should start checking serum insulin at age 3, because it's a lot easier to teach a child how to eat the right food and prevent all these diseases. So to prevent diabetes, it's foodable, not druggable. And insulin, which they give now for diabetes, which one of the drug companies made billions of dollars from, and they still do. They inject it, and what happens? That part swells. Why does it swell? They just took the sugar and put it in the cell. It's still in your body. You want to get rid of the sugar. You don't want to keep it in your body. Kidney disease is a diabetic disease most of the time. We see all these dialysis centers around here, but your GFR, be sure to check that when you get your blood test, glomerular filtration rate, which I see that people, it's not on their test, and if they are, it's about 100 when you're in college or high school, and then it slowly goes down. Mine is 80 at age 88, okay? When it's 25 or so, they start talking about dialysis. They come to your house or you go to the center, and that's when you have advanced kidney disease. But do they have a program going to prevent it? No, they don't. Matter of fact, in 1972, they passed a law that if you go to a dialysis center, the treatment is free. So you motivated to change? A little bit difficult, because you don't have to pay for it yourself. But the people don't know that. I'm teaching you, most kidney disease is preventable. Yes, and now, and it was, well, once the GFR drops, you can't turn it around. Well, they're wrong. They're wrong, because here's another book I want you to have a look at by Fork in the Road, A Hopeful Guide to Food Freedom. It's from England. It's from England, and it's a website I'd like you to look at also, okay? It's a website I'd like you to look at also. A Dr. David Unwin, Unwin. And he has a lot of YouTube shows, and his wife, Jen, I want you to look at their YouTube shows. To look at their website, you just go YouTube, David Unwin, diabetes or renal disease, and they have a public health. This is a good way to get onto them too. Go to Google and say PHC, Public Health Collaboration, phcuk.org. That gets you on their website. They have a conference a few times a year. I was going to go to that. In fact, I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 days ago. It was in Scotland. I was going to go to that, but I've got a thing to go to my daughter, and so her birthday, so I couldn't go, but next year I'm going to go. Dr. Unwin used to be a diabetic. So was his wife, Jen. A patient walked in one day and said, and he didn't recognize her. He'd been treating her for 8 years. And you know what she said to Dr. Unwin? Dr. Unwin, you don't know what you're talking about. But instead of being closed-minded, he was open-minded and ran some studies. And he was overweight. He was diabetic. His wife was diabetic. And they ran some studies and realized the lady was correct. And now in England, they teach how to prevent, stop, reverse diabetes, and they added the word keto to it, which I explain to you in a minute. But this website is unbelievable. It's explosive. You'll never get through all the great YouTube shows if you're looking for more information besides. Then the last one I want you to definitely look at here, a book. If you don't want to do a lot of reading, look, Susan Ryan, Simply Keto. She also has a lot of YouTube shows. You can go YouTube, Susan Ryan, and there's psychological aspects to eating a lot of sugar to make you feel good. And so with a step-by-step guide to keto, easy recipes, and she discusses the psychology of it. What's great about her book, if you want to do a lot of reading, follow her book. Follow her book. What I like about it, and is $34, but you can buy it used online for $5. I gave a lecture to a church recently, 20 people, and I bought all these books for $5, and I gave it to the church members. And I was walking down the street the other day. One said, Dr. Kachmann, I lost 30 pounds. I follow everything you said in that book. My diabetes is gone. Yes, that happened to me maybe 2 weeks ago. What I like about her book, the first 60 pages, she explains what keto is all about. Ketones are, if you're eating good fats, 70-80% or so, then your sugar level goes down, your insulin level goes down, your fat cells in your body open up and they go to the liver and form ketones. They're small molecules of energy. Your organs love them, the brain loves them, and of course, you're losing weight quickly. Your diabetes is going away. She's lost 120 pounds. And what's great about her book is she has pictures of her recipes throughout, and calorie count, and carbohydrates, and protein, and then how to make it. You want to get rid of your diabetes quickly without a lot of reading, just get her book, $5 online, deliver to your house. Follow her recipes, read the first 60 pages. Your diabetes will be gone within a month, maybe sooner. If you're on medications, it'd be a good idea to get one of these Lifestyle Libre or Dexcom things and put it on there because your blood sugar will go down quickly. You could get rid of your diabetes, maybe some people, in a week. So your blood sugar goes down. You want to know it. So to have one of these glucose monitors here that's connected to your phone and connected to the internet. So that would be a smart thing to do, and tell your doctor if you're on medication. that what you're going to do, that he can follow you to. Odds are he does not know what you have learned today. And he may, especially if you get renal disease and you're on dialysis. But what Dr. Unwin showed, though, is that you can reverse your diabetes, and your GFR, your kidney function, will improve again. Right in his book, right in his web shows. But the dialysis centers don't tell you that. I know. I've looked at their information. It's not even brought up. But I'm teaching it to you. I'm teaching it to you. So I hope I'm just the beginning of your information. Another thing Dr. Unwin does, you can see it on his website. To make it simple to understand, he has the infographics there where he will tell you, like cornflakes make 8.4 teaspoonful of sugar. So you know how much sugar there is too. That brown apple juice, again, makes about 8. So remember I said about juice having a lot of sugar in it, and oatmeal and rice. They're all in here. These and white rice, for example, has 3, 6, 9, 10 teaspoonful of sugar in it. A teaspoonful, yeah. So rice is sugar, for Pete's sake. That's why India has so many diabetics. Because they eat a lot of rice, and then they added processed food on top of that, and that's why they have the largest number of diabetics in the world. So it's a type of food you're eating, so I've given you a lot of information here today, what diabetes, the diseases that are caused by it, why I'm so focused on it, why industry and our hospital system have you surrounded, and teaching you how to get rid of diabetes. The school system is creating sugar addicts. Yes, they are. And we have to hold them responsible. Yeah. I'll work at it. I'll work at it best I can, but I hope some lawyer watching might decide that's a hell of a case, creating addicts with diseases who are going to die younger. They're going to die younger. But the information's there. I gladly help any of you, meet with any of you. Look at my YouTube shows. This will be on public access, 6:30, and then 10 days or so it'll be on YouTube. Even on YouTube now, got 800 to 1,000 YouTube shows on health. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can watch some of that and you're having trouble sleeping at night. Listen to one of those. But I think we all like to be healthy, okay? I mean, otherwise, how are you going to play pickleball with me when I'm 100? I played this morning 2 hours already. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does one person prove anything? No, but I didn't always eat right. My dad had a dad in New York, served lousy food. Served a lot of milk, for example. But I was able to learn. When I learned, I changed. And now, today I weighed 133 pounds, played pickleball this morning, tap dance, sing songs. What am I trying to prove? I'm just trying to live the life that I'm teaching to people, in that you can still reverse things and be healthy, because believe me, I didn't eat the right food years ago, but I learned and I changed. I didn't just kept a close mind. I do this because I love you, and we'll see you next time. See me on YouTube, public access, Monday, 6:30. I care about you. See you next time. You know I love you. Bye-bye.